Hello, everybody. This is Rose. Today's topic from the Book of Life is when grown kids, no, let me rephrase that, grown ass kids, because there's a reason why ass had to be put on that. Grown ass kids say to their parents, you think you know everything. Mm, that's what they say, but yet they are constantly running to their parents for advice. Don't hate on the knowledge and the wisdom that your parents provide to you constantly. Don't hate on that knowledge and wisdom that they gain from the trials and tribulations of life. You do not want that life journey they had to walk, but you're benefiting from it. Remember that. Okay, let's talk about it. Ooh, child, let me tell you, when me and my girls, my senior girlfriends, we come together from time to time. Not that often. We used to get together once a month. And now that we got older, we get tired. We get, I don't know. We can't do that every month. So we may come together once every other month. But we get together and it just be the group of us, usually at my house, because I'm the one with all the oldies. So we come together and we just drink our wine. I'm grateful that majority of my girls that I've been knowing for years that they drink wine. We have a few, those Hennessy drinkers and and the other one. What is that? They used to come in that blue bag. Cause see, I don't buy that stuff. They have to bring their own when they do that one, that Crown Royal, Roy Crown, whatever it's called. You bring your own when you have to drink something other than wine. Cause I keep the stack of wine. But when it's something else, you got to bring your own. Cause I don't know nothing about that. But anyway, so we come together and we get together, we play our oldies, we play a little spades, sometimes we play some pity pack, we just play some cards and we talk mess. We just talk because it helps us. That's our stress reliever. Where do we go to vent? So we get in a safe environment that we know that it's not going anywhere. Well, I do tell them that I talk about some of the stuff, but I changed the name. So it do go somewhere sometimes. But anyway, at least I tell them. But we come together and we just listen to our oldie music and we just be grooving. We still got it going on at our age. We still like to groove. We still like to hang and do things we used to do when we was younger, even though we can't physically always do it, but in our mind we can do it. We doing it when we having our conversation. We talking like we actually doing it. So that counts. But anyway, so the conversation got a little, heavy. We talk about our life, what we go through, things we dealing with, and a lot of times it involves our kids because they are our world, they are our life. So it involves them. Now, we was listening to the oldies, and then one of the girls, she put it on because in the playlist at the top of in the playlist we have none but oldies except for one other artist. Oh, we definitely put him at the top of our playlist. He's a young guy, but that young guy is gifted. He got an old soul. That's Bruno Mars. So we was listening to us some Bruno Mars, and we was drinking a little drink, and we was talking smack as we playing our card game. And so one of the girls started talking about an incident that happened with her son. Now, her son, her name is Betty. And Betty's son, Junior, is 35 years old. He's 35 years old. And he runs to his mama. Now, Betty is married. Junior got a daddy. But he runs to his mama. Every time you turn around, he goes to his mama for everything. Junior is not going to do nothing without his mama co-signing it. without his mama telling him that's a good idea or that's a bad idea. Go figure. Why you think he come to Betty all the time, but don't go to his daddy? Mm, okay? Betty be telling Junior the right thing. See, his daddy probably be half listening to him because daddies, they not that attentive. Okay? I'm not trying to put them down, but they don't listen the way mamas do. They're not that attentive. They'll half listen and give you some half ass advice, and you go do it and it don't work out. So that's why they gotta come to their mama. Cause mama gonna listen to every little detail. She gonna catch something that is not right. She's listening. And when she's listening, she painting a picture in her mind. And if it don't fit right, if it don't sound right, she gonna tell you. Bag it up. Wait a minute, that one right there, it doesn't fit in the puzzle. It doesn't fit. You trying to put a square piece inside a round hole is not fitting. So something is wrong with that. You need to go take a look at that again. So anyway, Junior's coming to her because he's going to buy a house now. He got a girl, and it's his girlfriend. I call her his girl. They got 2 kids together. They live together. Junior ready to, buy a house to secure a place, because he's doing pretty good for himself. So he's in the process of purchasing a house. Now, what he does is I can understand it. It's very confusing. That's a major purchase to do in a person's lifetime because they tell you stuck with this purchase for 30 years. 30 years you're stuck. And it's a big purchase, much bigger than buying a car, where you get 5 to 7 years to pay it off. So Junior was a little nervous about that, but he wanted to do it because he's seen that his dad and his mom always had their own home. He grew up in their own home. So Junior wanted to do it. And so he goes to Betty with every little step. He signed the paperwork where he is saying that he agreed that these people are going to represent him. The realtor that he went to, that they're going to represent him in the sale of the home and so forth. And then when it came time that he got pre-approved, they advised him to get pre-approved. Of course, he called his mama. He said, they telling me I need to get pre-approved. I got money in the bank. Why I got to go get pre-approved? What is that for? They trying to say my money ain't good that's in the bank? And Betty told him, no, that's not it, baby. They just saying they don't want to waste their time showing you houses just because you got a little coins in the bank. And then you got to still get a loan because unless you're going to pay cash for that house, pay it in full, you got to have some credit. And you got to get approved for that house. They ain't gonna take you around showing you house to house, house to house, and then you go and try to get approved and decline. You know why? Because your credit bad. It don't matter if you got some money in the bank. So your credit got to be up to, and then if your credit ain't up to good, it is no good. You need a cosigner, and nobody gonna cosign for you. I don't think Betty and her husband, your mom and your dad is gonna cosign for you. So anyway, but Betty told him that. Betty told him, babe, this is why you gotta go get pre-approved before they take you around looking for something. So when you find something, you can jump on it right away because you've been pre-approved. Because people, the housing market, good houses goes fast. They sell quickly. They ain't got time to wait for you to go find somebody, a lender that's going to prove you for this house because you say you like it and you got the down payment. It goes too fast. So therefore, Betty explained that to him. So he went, got pre-approved because his mama told him to. Then after that, he goes searching. He finds a house. So he calls his mom up. He said, I found the house. I told him I want this one. And so the realtor explained to him, we got to put an offer down for the house. So he called his mama up because he didn't understand. Well, what's the offer? Well, why we got to put an offer down? They already said what the cost of the house is, so why we got to make an offer? That don't make sense. I'm gonna pay what they said that the house costs. So his mom had to explain to him, baby, some people pay more than what the house say that they want for the house. Some people pay less. It's because sometimes the market is in favor of the seller, and then they can get more money for their house. She says so. Therefore, you got to put an offer down because the seller want to look at how many offers they got in and what the amount is. They gonna put their offer down for the amount of the house, or are they going to go a few coins above the amount? And quite naturally, if I got a lot of offers, they're not looking at the ones that go below what they asking for. Someone that say, "Oh, we selling our house for 400, and you want to give us 350 or 375? Oh, heck no! We want the 400,000 or the one that's going above, go above that." So Betty explained that to her son. He said, "So what do I do, Mom? Should I put an offer in for more?" She said, "How bad you want the house? What it look like?" She said, "Send me some pictures." So he hurry up and shot his mom some pictures through the phone. And she said, "Oh, that's a nice house, son." She said, "Well, what do you want to pay? What did you get approved for?" So he tells his mom, she said, "Well, you can take a chance and you can put an offer in for the asking price." She said, therefore, you could see, because they'll usually let you know they have more offers in. Yours got dismissed. Then you can put another offer in for a little higher. She said, but just to play it safe, go for the asking price. Put your offer in for the asking price. So he did. So then he gets the house. They gave it to him because luckily there was no other offers that was for the asking price. A couple of people had the nerve to put offer in for less than, because they tried to say, well, there's a couple of things that need to be fixed, and we got to put our money into fixing it up. So they put offers in for less than, but he put it in for the asking price. So he got approved. They gave it to him. They accept his contract. So once they told him they want to accept his offer, they accept his offer. The realtor told him, well, you need to put some earnest money down because, we got to hold this for you. They just not going to go for your word because they got to let go of these other two offers to go for you. So he called his mama. What is earnest money? What is earnest money, mama? She said, honey, baby, that's just a little down payment. It goes towards a deposit, but it's just a little down payment saying that you're sincere about getting this house. You're not going to change your mind. He said, well, what amount should I put down? She said, well, you ain't got to put no more down, about $1,000, because they know you ain't going to put your $1,000 to give your $1,000 away. Because he said, well, what do that mean if I change my mind? You don't get your $1,000 back. So he said, okay. She said, do you really want this house? He said, yes. So he put his $1,000 down. So after he did that, then he calls his mama up. The paperwork is starting to go through. They see that he's been pre-approved and they're doing the paperwork. Now it's come to the time for him to put his deposit down. He called his mom about that and so forth and so on. So everything is going good with the house. He get to the closing. He called his mom about that. What? I got to pay some money for closing. What is this all about? His mom tell him about that. So then he put the money down. He do the closing. He get the keys in his hand. And Junior is so happy. He's so proud because he is now a new owner. He get the keys in his hand. And his mom even told him something that he didn't even ask. She said, make sure they give you a 30-year fixed loan. Because sometimes if you don't know what you're doing, these realtors, she said, she said, these lenders will give you a 10-year fix or a 15-year fix, and then the rest is terms where it's based on what the interest rate gonna be later on after that fixed amount. She said, that means your mortgage can go up extremely high. She said, so that your mortgage don't go up after 10 or 15 years. And you may not be in a position to get a low interest rate. She said, make sure because your credit is good now, you get a fix. That means the interest rate is fixed for 30 years unless the industry go down and the interest rate go lower, and then you can refinance it to get that lower interest rate. But she told him, make sure that when you got pre-approved, that is for a fixed 30-year interest rate. So he did that. He appreciated his mother's wisdom and how she guided him. So now, as I was saying, he got the keys to his house and he's telling his mom, he said, Mom, I really like this because, you know, this house, we the first ones to move into it. It's a new community and it's a gated community. And even though the house was built, 4 months ago, it's still a new house. They built these houses and they don't have people living in all the houses they built, but we was able to pick out the one we wanted, and we chose one in the middle of the block. He said, I didn't want to live on the end of the street. He said, I wanted to live because I felt like that would be the best one. So his mom said, okay, good choice, son. That's fine. So he picked one in the middle of the block. So when he invited his mom, once they got settled and moved in, him and his girl, and everything was in place, he invited his parents over for dinner. Junior invited them over. So the mom come, mom's gonna be who they are. They gonna scope out everything. So when they come, I'm a mom, that's how we do. When we come, Betty's doing what we normally do. You're looking at the neighborhood. You're looking at the houses in front, around, behind. You're looking at, okay, he got him a 3-bedroom, 2 baths, home. And she want to know, is he next to a house that's upstairs and downstairs that's 5 bedrooms? Because, that's going to be something when you get next to the bigger houses. Or is he next to some homes that is similar to his home? Because that counts on how many people going to be living in there and the traffic that's going to be coming in and out. So mom's looking at that. She comes down. She's looking at the street lights and everything within the community. And so she's looking at it and she said, she noticed something strange. She said, why they put a street light at the end of the street, but not in the middle, so it can illuminate the whole block? Because only the ends have light, and in the middle is dark. She said, what's wrong with it? That's stupid. So, so when she's sitting there having dinner, her and her husband, and they talking and stuff, and Junior is thanking his mom about her help and everything, and then she goes to tell him. She said, Junior, you know what? She said, I wish I had known this to tell you this sooner. She said, because I didn't know you was choosing a middle house that and on a street that didn't have a street light in the middle of the street, and it's a long block. She said, do you know it's dark out there when your dad and I pulled up? We couldn't even see your address. We had to put our high beams on to see your address. She said, this is ridiculous. She said, so son, what you need to do is you need to get you some floodlights to put around your flower bed. You need to keep your porch light on at night. Just turn it on at night. And she's giving him the same wisdom that she gave him when he kept calling her. But now that he's in his house and he's smelling himself and he's in front of his girl, he gets a little irate. His tone was not right with her. Betty said, she said, that's what bothered me. His tone changed when I'm giving him this advice. And he tells her out of nowhere, you don't know everything. You think you know everything. You don't know everything. You need to stick to what you do best, which is take care of your household and my dad. Oh, Betty was heated. She was livid. She was so angry with her son. She got mad. Betty said, she said she stood up. She told her husband, she said, I'm leaving now. She said she looked him in his eyes and said, I'm leaving now. You can choose to stay or you could choose to go. Either way, I'm taking the car and I'm out of here now. She said the husband got up because, see, the husband and Betty, they've been married for a long time. So he reads those eye signals just like she reads his eye signals. They know each other. They know each other well. So the husband didn't say nothing. He just got up and said, son, thank you for inviting us. And they left. They left. So Betty said she was so mad. She said she decided she was going to let him learn because the thing is, she's going to let him learn on his own from here on out as much as it hurt her to have to let him learn some life lessons on his own. She was going to let him do it because she said, there's no way you're going to get in my face and talk to me like that as much as I have helped you through this thing. And now you're going to act like I humiliated you by making that statement that I'm embarrassing you in front of your girl? I understand you probably didn't want your girl to know that you was coming to me. I understand that. But I'm not trying to bruise your male ego. She said, I'm not trying to. She said, I just gave a statement. I didn't even tell your girl that you've been coming to me. But obviously you must be scared that I'm going to say something. And so therefore you putting me in check before you figure it gets to that point. But Betty said she let him know she wasn't going to take him talking to her like that. She said she just got up and left. But she said when her husband was driving home, because she thought she was going to have to drive home. But she said when her husband was driving home, she was thinking about it. She said that's what it was. She said he was just freaking scared that I was going to say something about him running to me in front of his girl. I must have bruised his ego. Or he thought I was going to bruise his ego. She said, I don't know what it was, but he got me twisted. If he think he gonna talk to me like that after coming to me and I helped him through this thing. I was so proud of her. Oh, yes, I was. You know, I love it when my girls stand up for themselves. That's what we got to do. Because, see, when you get to be a senior, sometimes your kids want to act like there's something wrong with you just because you may have a little brain fog or, temporarily memory loss from time to time, and you look over at them and you can't remember their name. That's how it is. We laugh at that because that's life. We see that it's something that all seniors go through. And no, when the doctor tells us you want some pills for it, no, it's natural. I'm not going to dope my head up just to remember his name. It'll come back. Or just to remember, where I'm at. Um, but I say that, lovingly because, of course, we don't forget where we at. At least I don't. And I pray to God I never do. I never get to that point. But me and my girls, we never forgot where we was at. We just forget names. We forget what we was talking about. We be in the middle of a conversation, in the middle of a sentence, and we forget. So we have to stop for a minute and say, well, what the heck was I talking about? We even asked the girls, well, what was the last thing I said to you so it could kind of help my memory on what I was talking about? And then sometimes they forget what I said last. And someone might remember. And then we'd be like, oh, yeah, okay, I remember what I was saying. And so but because we go through that, don't sit up there and treat us like there's something wrong with us. Don't do that. We still your mama. We still your parent. So don't try to embarrass us because your ego got bruised for no reason at all. Okay, now if it was supposed to be a secret, Betty said she thought to herself, she said if it was supposed to be a secret, he should have said something and she wouldn't have brought nothing up. But she said she didn't know. She didn't even bring up the house that she helped him. So, but that's how life goes. Now, here's another scenario. One of the other girls was talking, and she was telling us a story. When Betty finished talking, she said, Betty, girl, I understand what you're saying. She said, I understand what you're saying. And I said, ooh, she must got a good story to tell. This one gonna be juicy. That's what I said, because when she said it like that, ooh, Betty, girl, I understand what you're saying. When you talk like that, oh, you got a good one coming. I said, come on, girl, spill the beans, pour her some more wine. Let's talk about it. So she says, now her name is Gwen. Now she called her oldest daughter. Her oldest daughter name is Barbara, but she called her Barbie. So, but anyway, that's what they call her, and I know now why they do that. But anyway, so she said, see, Barbie is a stay-at-home mom. She has 3 kids ranging from the age of 3 to 15. And her husband, he's the provider. He's out working long hours. He's gone from home at least 12 hours a day. You're working. And so, and sometimes a little longer, considering if he got to do overtime. And so she's home alone with those kids. So maybe she gets a little tired, because sometimes when you're around kids all the time and you ain't doing nothing else, you need that maturity. You need some adult conversation because your brain seems like you focus and starting to think like a kid all the time. So she calls her mama. She calls her mama Gwen all day long. Gwen said, this girl calls me all day long. She said she calls me if one of the kids scratched themselves and it's bleeding. Mom, what to do? What do I put on it? Mom. And then she calls her if she's cleaning the floor. Something, it seemed like it'd be a stain on the towel and she don't know how to get it up. What solution do I use, Mom, to get it up? She said she's a good basic cooker, meaning she know how to do the basic stuff, something that's simple and easy. But yet and still, when she want to become a gourmet cook, she calls her mom, and because she sees something on TV or she sees something that she YouTube and see these little things, but she can't understand because they go too fast. And they don't tell you everything. She'll try it, but it don't come out the way it look on YouTube. So call Betty up and say, do you know how to make this dish? And Betty not Betty, because that's the senioritis. I'm talking about Gwen this time, not Betty. Betty was the other one. Okay, but Gwen will tell her, she'll say, yeah. So now she wants her mom to stay on the phone with her and give her step-by-step instructions on how to cook a dish. And her mom does it. I love my girls. I really do, because they're so sweet. They really help me out a lot. They really do, because they make me so soft. I be so gentle and patient with my kids now. And that's a beautiful thing. And my kids notice the difference. And so, but anyway, so she's constantly giving this girl advice, information from time to time. Oh, this one got a cold. What to give them? I don't want to give them none harsh chemicals and have them drugged up and they got to go to school and they congested and everything. So the mom is constantly on that phone. So Gwen tells me, she said, she told us, she said, sometimes I feel like I'm living in that girl household. She said, I'm there more so than I am at home. She said, even though I'm sitting at home on the phone with her. She said, because I know everything. I hear everything. And she don't talk to me unless it's video because she ain't got time to hold the phone because her hands is constantly moving. So I'm on video and I can just see everything that's going on in the house. And she said, and it's just nonstop. She's calling me. She said, but it's okay because eventually I'm glad she coming to me for wisdom because this is what I'm supposed to do, pass down this wisdom to her. So she say from time to time I do get a little tired because the thing about Gwen still have a little business. She's not a 100% retired. She retired from her main job, what she did for years, but she still have a little side hustle, a little business. So Gwen is a herbalist, and so she sell the herbal supplements. So she's still doing that. And the thing about Gwen go to all the county fairs in her state. She'll go to those little county fairs and she'd sell as a vendor. And so, but she can't get her business going until her daughter stopped. She got to work in between her daughter's phone call. But in her mind, she's doing what she's supposed to do, which she is. Pass that wisdom down to them because they need it. These grown kids don't know everything. So they need that wisdom from their parents, from especially from their mom. So Gwen does, she gives her that wisdom when Barbie calls. So this one particular day, Gwen was talking to Barbie, and she tells her, she said, the local fair that's near us. She said, I signed up as a vendor. She said, so she said, you're going to have to cease on the phone calls because I'm going to be working there for the entire week that the fair going to be there. And she said it's going to be there 2 weekends and then, that week. So it's a small fair. They starting off on a Saturday. Or did she tell me a Friday? I think she told me they starting off on that Friday and it's going through the weekend and then it's going through that following week, including that weekend, that following weekend. So she tells her, she says, so I'm going to be working. She says, so I need you to cease on those phone calls. Just hold on, make notes on what you need to ask me. I get back with you. So Barbie decided, well, you know what, Mom? She said, well, why don't I come out and help you the first weekend and so forth. So, she said, I just come and I just sit and support you and do whatever I can because it's not good for you to be working that your boot alone. Because sometimes Dad can only be there on the weekend because he worked. Her husband's not fully retired. He work a part-time job during the week. And sometimes he could be there for her during the week, and other times he can't. He may come after he get off work or whatever. But she said, this way I can at least be there for you on the weekend, give Dad a break, and he can be there for you that next weekend. She said, well, that sounds good, Barbie. I really appreciate it. So she let Barbara, come. And she said that, and the good thing about that weekend, that first weekend, that was themed seniors discount weekend. Because she said, usually when you go to these fairs, she said they always give seniors a discount during the weekday. She said, but she's thinking because this fair is short term, is not going to be there more than a week and 2 weekends. She said maybe that's why they chose to give the seniors the discount on the first weekend. And I said, she made me think about something when she said that. I said, that is true. I said, because I notice whenever I go to some of these events that they have for the family events, they always have senior discounts during the weekday. And I used to say, why they do it always during the weekday for the seniors when we come in with our families? And our family comes during the weekend a lot of time. Why can't they have a senior discount on the weekend? Why it always got to be on a Wednesday? Or a day that, that they trying to get traffic in there. They figure we can't get the families to come in, we get the seniors to come. Heck, a lot of us need our families to bring us. So I said, so that's good that they doing this on the weekend for the seniors. So, Gwen was saying, she said, well, that Saturday, that weekend, that on that Saturday and Sunday, seniors get in for free before 12 noon. And after 12 noon, they're going to discount it to $5 per senior ticket after 12 noon. I said, now that's good. That's a good idea. I said, because most people think all seniors like getting up early. Sometimes you don't mind paying that $5 to sleep in a couple of hours. Because we up half the night anyway. We are hours of the morning. We don't sleep in the middle of the night. And so we had to sleep in a little bit. So that's a good idea. So she said that Barbie came out and helped us. She was out there helping us. She had everything set up beautifully, her herbal supplements, and had them, little descriptions and little tags, let the people kind of know what it was for, and they can always, they can ask questions. So she said this group of senior women came to her booth, and they began to ask her about certain ailments that they had and what they can take. And so Gwen says she was explaining to them about how this herbal supplement can help. And she said Barbie interjected. She, inserted herself in the conversation, just bust out and then say, "Excuse me, mom, what?" Just bust out and start telling these ladies about home remedies. So Gwen say, she's sitting up here going, she looking at Barbie like, I'm trying to sell them some supplements. So she's thinking Barbie would get a clue. And she said Barbie just sitting up there talking to these women. And she said she trying to take the conversation back over. And she's interjecting, and she studied, is trying to steer the seniors to the supplements or what they say they ailment is and what, they need. And she said Barbie's just going to keep interjecting it and looking at the mama. And she got frustrated because the mama was cutting her off. She didn't think about she was cutting her mom off, but she get frustrated because her mom is cutting her off and trying to steer the conversation back to the supplement. And Barbie looks at her mom and said, "It's obvious." Her mom said, she said it in such a mean, nasty tone. She said, "It's obvious you don't know everything. It's obvious you don't know everything, because if you did, you would know about this home remedy, and you would tell them about this home remedy." And so Gwen was so devastated. She was angry because she said, "Now, not only did you stop me making a sale with my herbal supplement, you sat up here and you gonna act like I don't know about the dang gone home remedy that I taught you. Get a clue." And she said she got so mad at Barbie. And she said that the women, they can sense, because as seniors, we can sense when there's some family trouble right there. We're going to do what we do best. We walk away. We getting away from it because, see, we ain't at that stage of running. So we don't know what's about to jump off. When we see some trouble is about to happen, we smell it a mile long, we getting out of Dodge. We a looky-loo behind our closed door through our windows. But we ain't a looky-loo in public. We don't do that. Soon as we hear some trouble about to pop off, we start walking because we walk too slow and we ain't in the mood for running. And we know if people going to run over you when some trouble. But even though that was not major trouble, but that's how we do it, seniors. But that was not major, but they still walked away. They didn't say nothing else. They just walked away. So now Gwen is mad at her daughter. And so they get in an argument. And she tells her, "What is wrong with you?" She said, "What is wrong with you? Why would you jump in my business affair when I'm talking to these ladies and cause me some sales? Because you want to be seen now. Because you want to be all knowing now." She said that this was not the time and place for it. She said, "I don't mind you passing on the wisdom that I gave to you and the things I taught you to whoever you want to pass it on, but don't do it in my business, and it's going to cause me some sales. Don't do it." And so Barbie got mad at her mom. She gets mad at her mom. And her mom told her, straight out told her, "You could be mad all you want." She said, "You could be mad all you want." She said, "But when it comes to my business, and when it comes to my name, and when it comes to who I am," she said, "I do not treat you like that as my daughter in public, and you're not going to treat me like that." She said, "Put some respect on who I am as your mother. Give me back the courtesy that I give to you as your mother. When you call me all day long, I don't care if it's in public or private. I still give you common courtesy and I take time and listen to you. I do my business secondary to your call. I work in between your phone calls. I never front you in front of your husband telling him I told you how to make that dish when you bragging in front of me and you invite me and dad over to dinner and it's a dish that I help you with. I never say that. She told her, she said, I never say that to dad. But you gonna publicly embarrass me in front of my peers, a group of my peers, and act like you the one who know everything? And to say that it's obvious I don't know anything? She said, those are hater words. That's a hater statement. When you come to me to know everything, you come to me for me to know everything. Because you ask me everything. But then you're going to front me in front of my peers and say, it's obvious that I don't know everything. Girl, that wine was talking to us because the rest of us seniors was telling Gwen and Betty. We was giving them high fives. Say, you go, girl. We so glad y'all stood up for yourself. We know it's your kids and we want y'all to, make amends and get back together. But sometimes you got to stand up against your grown kids. Sometimes you have to, because sometimes they treat you as bad as public that people in the public treat you. Because see, people don't like to deal with seniors. They feel like seniors get in their way or whatever because we walk a little slower or we take time. We want to observe everything. We take it in and stuff. We looking at stuff. We want to touch it. We want to look at it. We want to take it in and decide. They rush you. Hurry up, hurry up. What's taking you so long to make a decision? What's taking you so long? It only been a second, minute there for a minute ain't went past. Don't be trying to get my brain to work as fast as your mind. Shut up. Some respect for your senior parent. Some respect for your seniors, period. Shut up. Let's move in the way we want to move. Because what you put into the universe, what you put is what you're going to get back should you live to become a senior. So let us be. It's a shame when you got to fight against your own kids who treating you as you are in their way as a senior, but they still run it to you for all the advice that they get and they do. So don't treat us like that. Be patient with us. And we get it. For like some of you get tired, especially with Barbie, because you're sitting at home with kids who's getting on your nerve, but don't take it out on your senior mama. Don't take that out on your senior mama because you get tired of having to deal with kids. You don't yell. I'm quite sure you don't yell at your kids like that. Or do you? But anyway, if you do, well, whatever. We had to yell at y'all when y'all was little too. But anyway, it's like, come on, have some respect for the seniors. Really, be a little patient. If they, especially when they're not doing anything to really embarrass you in public. It's your own insecurity. It's your own ego. Nobody gonna always work as fast as your mind go or move as fast as your mind go. Be patient with us. You know, I mean, this is a lesson that we all need in life, including seniors, because sometimes we got to be patient with you all as well, because we get tired of y'all running to us, and we have to be patient, and we have to give you that respect that that's what you're gonna do. So understand it. It's a two-way street. Okay? Be patient with the seniors. Because, the Bible tells us it tells you to honor your mother and your father so that your days may be long. That's what the Bible says. And what that means is quit, not only have respect for them, but don't treat them like they incompetent. Like, like something wrong with them because they got older and they slow down a little bit. Don't treat them like that. Come on now. They still human. But anyway, because in our mind, we be thinking all kind of stuff. We could still whoop y'all butt. That's what we be thinking. Keep messing with me. Your butt, grown as you are. But but of course we don't act on that because we know better. But we be thinking it in our mind. Oh, I can take you. I can give you a punch to knock you out. So trust and believe I can. Hey, I saw my mama do it. My mama was in her early 80s when she hit one of her grandsons in the mouth and cold cocked him, knocked him out, knocked his front tooth out. And I don't condone this, but she had to be some mad that hit him in his mouth and knocked his front tooth out. He was talking smack to her, talking about, that's why your grandkids don't come, your kids don't come see you. Anyway, you better be glad I'm here to see you. I mean, he was wrong because he don't know who come see her, but he was mad because she wouldn't give him no money. And he got smart with her, and she showed him she still had some power in her hand. and in her fist. That's my mama. That's where I get this from. But God rest her soul. But anyway, I'm out, people. Be blessed, be safe, peace. Until next week.